Welcome back, Quartermasters. SCL Matt here with another Saturday live stream. We're here to play some Skylanders and give away some stuff. Well, one thing in particular. It's our monthly giveaway live stream. So, I hope you'll join me. I hope we can have a good time and we'll play some Skylanders, talk some Skylanders, and
It usually helps if I unmute the microphone. You can tell it's been a while since I've done this. But welcome, everybody. Welcome back, Quartermasters. SCL Matt here with another Saturday Skylanders live stream. Yeah. We'll see what happens today, but we're gonna play some Skylanders, talk some Skylanders, and go from there. So, Nick, Plant King, Splatoon, welcome. Glad to have you all here. I was just looking at the post on Twitter. Yep. What do I do with Disney Infinity when I get it? So actually, two-part answer to this question. First, for all the common loose stuff, I actually have a buyer now who buys from me on the regular. They buy all my loose Infinity stuff. I did just acquire a large inbox Infinity collection, and that I'm gonna try to sell on Whatnot, I think. Um, this month and actually the next like 3 months on Whatnot, I am planning on having a lot of extra Whatnot shows. So we'll still have our standard Whatnot Wednesday show. That'll be what you expect from Whatnot. Our normal, um, just kind of standard inbox, out of box, damaged, other Skylanders merchandise type of stuff. But then I will have additional shows that like are geared towards Disney Infinity or Lego Dimensions or oddball Skylanders merchandise that we haven't seen before that I have a lot of. It'll make more sense once once I get to it. Um, but yeah. So as far as Disney Infinity goes, if it's loose, I'm probably just selling it to another reseller. Um, if it's inbox, I might hold on to some of it. So we'll see how that goes and what happens with that over time. But yeah, stay tuned for some of those. Um, Stun Bodyguard, welcome back. Glad you could join us. Tobias, all the way from Norway. Welcome. Got Hurricane Jetpack yesterday from eBay. Just need see a vehicle. Yeah. Sea Shadow Nightfall, some of my favorites for sure. Good stuff there. Good luck. Hunter, you can skull all you want. You're going down tomorrow. You're going down. Lucas, finally 100% at Swap Force. That's the journey we're continuing here today. So we've been on this for a while, I know, but like that's what we're working on right now. Congratulations though. It's not an easy task to do. SCL Jillian's in the house. Beautiful. Where did I get the idea to start SCL? So this is way back in 2012. Literally, I was just getting into Skylanders and I was looking for a checklist and I couldn't find anywhere that would give me a checklist of all the figures out there. I mean, you got the poster that they give you in the starter pack that just shows you the standard figures, but that doesn't show you the in-game variants. That doesn't show you the chase variants. And then once you started getting multiple games, like there was no one location that would show you like, hey, here's the stuff for all the games that have been released so far. And so I knew if I was looking for that, there were other people looking for that too. And that was honestly where SCL started. It started with a checklist. Hands Whatnot Tuesday to Thursday. It will probably be. I right currently I'm thinking Tuesday for Disney Infinity stuff because I have a lot of it, and so it's going to take a few shows at least to get through. So there will probably be kind of a regular Tuesday Disney Infinity show, and then I'm thinking I might do some Saturday shows to break things up in case people can't make the weekday nighttime shows. Um, put one on the weekend, and maybe they can attend that show then. Um, so that's what I'm currently thinking. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Definitely not Thursday though, because that's the day that I actually go visit SCL Jillian and we work on business stuff. So I'm not going to be running a show on Thursday. All right. Would I trade? Oh, I will trade you $25 for a Chompy Mage. I wish it were that simple. If I had that many Chompy Mages that we could knock down that price, but unfortunately, I don't even have a lot of Chompy Mages to sell right now. I might have one or two in box. I'd have to check downstairs, but yeah. Lucas just got done some cleanup from Helena. Yeah, yeah. Anybody that got hit, I'm sorry. I was down in Florida 2 days ago and got out just before the hurricane actually hit. So didn't have to really deal with that. Dealt with a lot of rain on the drive home, but other than that, not bad. Not bad. Excited for the game tomorrow and to see Malik Willis. Hunter, honestly, I if I had to guess right now, I can't guarantee anything. I don't have any inside information. Um, I bet you we see Jordan Love tomorrow. No guarantees. Malik Willis has been doing well, but yeah, I if I had to guess right now, I'm guessing we see Jordan Love back tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Uh, just started your six. Ooh, Mended Ox. I like that. The 600% journey. That's that's interesting. Like, I feel like we should make that a thing. 100%ing all 6 games, the 600% journey. Good luck with that. Good luck. Ba, ba, ba. All right. Best Pop Tart flavor, frosted strawberry. Hands down, no questions asked. Like that's frosted strawberry. That's the only right answer. Jabori, yes, we do indeed have a giveaway today. We will be giving away this new in box US packaging Thrillipede. Um, so yeah, this will be coming up later in the stream. Obviously, not right now, but yes, this will be coming up as a giveaway today. Courtney, you missed Skylanders hunting. You can always come back. Nothing wrong with that. Wait, my mic is doubled. Hold on. Shouldn't it be? Should not be at all. Ooh, I bet I know what's going on. So while I was down in Florida, the power went out at the house, and so it knocked all my equipment offline. Hopefully that changes things. Hopefully the sound's better now. But let me know if sound is still an issue. Ham Hands, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, because all those settings look okay yet. Yeah. Hopefully that fixed it. Yeah. I was setting things up last minute and may have missed a few settings. Inbox Chompy Mages for sale? Yeah, there may be some inbox Chompy Mage coming up soon. Twice as much commentary. I like it. I like it. Any Doomstone in stock? Splatoon, probably not right now. I don't think I have any inbox, and I mean, if they were in the shop, I'm sure they've sold by now. Oxidized Steel has a snapshot army. Awesome. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
you
we go.
No
No
Doomstone
Doomstone presently. Tina
Hivel
Hivel
in
in
box
box
for
for
$7.95.
$7.95.
Well
Well
done.
done. Well done.
It's
It's
good
good
stuff.
stuff. All-time favorite Packers player is rough. I've had a lot of favorites over the years. The problem is usually like as soon as I latch on to someone, they get traded or cut for some reason. It's rough. It's rough. Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead here. Did nope, still doubled. Wait, fixed? Is it fixed or not? Okay, I want to get this audio problem sorted out. I'll go back. It's still doubled. Why? Hold on. What is going on here? Ooh. Ooh. And how about now? How about now? I think that should have done it. Let me know. I know there's a little bit of delay, so I have to wait for like 10, 20 seconds to get your replies to figure out if that actually fixed it. So I'm just going to keep talking. It goes in and out between doubled and fixed. It's good now. It's good now. It's good now. Awesome. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Where was I on this chat? Oh, favorite Packers player. That's what I was working on. Yeah. So favorite, like I tend to not latch on to like the quarterback. Although I'm a big fan of Jordan Love. But I tend to go for the more obscure players. Like my actually, you know what? This might be my answer. James Jones. I am a big fan of James Jones. Um, I currently own 2 Packers jerseys. One is James Jones. The other is another favorite of mine, Jermichael Finley. Now, if you're not a hardcore Packers fan, you may not even recognize some of those names. They were at least offensive players, but I don't know if you'll recognize them or not. All right. Let's see if we can catch up here. Why is Thrillipede so expensive? So Thrillipede did not receive a US release. And so he can be a little bit cheaper overseas. But in the US in particular, he is very, very expensive because he wasn't actually released here. And that's why these that have the US packaging are even harder to find if you collect in box, because this wasn't released via retail. They've been trickling out in the past, 10 years since they were supposed to come out. But they weren't like officially released the way they were supposed to be. Doug's name, first time on stream. Welcome. Glad to have you. Does the winner have an option to receive I suppose if you really want. It's not really my favorite thing to do, but yeah. Courtney, I thought about that too. You could go way above and beyond 600. You could add in the 3DS games. And then if you include Superchargers Racing, and then do you include Superchargers Racing for the Wii as well as a separate game? Like, there's ways that you could bump up that number. Yes, for sure. The 600 is a nice kind of, okay, there were 6 games, let's call it 600. But if you want extra challenges beyond that, you can definitely do that. The after party, I can't tell you exactly what we're getting and when we're getting it. That's just the nature of the game these days. I buy stuff, but it still depends on when people ship it to me, when we get it checked in. and a whole bunch of other factors that go into the process of getting stuff in the shop. Um, I can't tell you if we're getting any soon. The answer is probably, but the other answer is they will sell out very, very quickly. So just keep an eye on those updates. That's the best option I can give you is keep an eye on the updates. If you're not familiar with the updates, you can follow SCL Jillian on Twitter. You can check the community feed of this channel here on YouTube. Or if you become a member of this YouTube channel, you can actually join the SCL Discord. And we post updates, shop updates there as well. And that's the best way to get like notifications about them. And in addition to getting those notifications on Discord, um, we actually update the Discord first because that is a paid community technically through this membership. Um, so if you want to be the first to know about stuff, if there's stuff you're really hunting for, the stuff that's going to sell out very quickly, being a member of the SCL Discord, being a member of this YouTube channel is the way to do that and give you the best shot at getting your hands on some of those figures. If you could only choose one trap master, who would it be? Shortcut. Shortcut, shortcut, shortcut. All right, got the stream taken care of. A lot of comments about that. Been cheering for the Packers since Christian Watson. Yeah, hopefully, it seems like Watson has his hamstring injury issue figured out now, so that should be good. The stream is behind a water elemental gate. I like that. I like that. Du- 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 du. All right. What is a 3DS portal worth? Um, it depends on the 3DS portal. If it's the Swap Force 3DS portal, it is significantly more valuable than the first two. Um, I sell the first two for I think $10 a piece, but the Swap Force one I sell for 35, and it can sell for even more on eBay. Um, so it depends which portal you have. All right. Selling an entire collection for 100,000 euros. Yeah, that's overpriced. We've done some basic math on a complete collection before, and we came up somewhere like it's definitely five figures and probably multiple five figures, but nowhere near 100,000. Has Spitfire with a broken wing. Let's try gluing it, but the glue won't go. How are the wings broken? Should I just keep the broken one or order a new one? Chad, I mean, it depends up to you. If you want a non-damaged figure for your collection, then yeah, buy a new one. But if you don't mind the damage, you know, you can either try gluing it again, or if you really want to get into fixing things, there's a method called pinning, where they use like a metal rod, sometimes just a like part of a paper clip works. Um, and stick one end of that into the figure and another end into the wing, and that actually helps solidify things along with the glue and keep it there. Um, but that's a whole another rabbit hole to go down. It's not something I'm really familiar with, but I've watched enough people do it that I know it's a thing. All right. Do I have an updated list of Skylanders you need to complete? Yeah, Eat the Planet. I am down to 7 items that I need. It's a real simple list now. I need Happy Birthday Ben Starcast, and then 6 unreleased items. So that includes Heartbreaker Buckshot and the 5 unreleased creation crystals. That's my list now. I if you've been following along with the videos that I've been releasing, you've seen that I've added a lot of chase variants to my collection recently. Um, and so yeah, I'm down to 7. Happy Birthday Ben, 5 unreleased creation crystals, and Heartbreaker Buckshot. So that's it. Yeah, Reggie White, awesome, awesome guy for sure. What do you do with Skylanders boxes? Um, are you talking like the boxes that like the figures come in? I mean, if I get those with the figures, like I just keep them and sell them that way. Like that's what I sell over on Whatnot because we don't usually sell boxed figures on the shop in the shop. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't intentionally throw most boxes away unless they're like super damaged or I'm taking it out for another reason. But yeah, usually I just sell them in box, so I don't have to do anything else with the boxes. Um, Thrillipede were partially released in Canada. Yeah, in the US, Thrillipede did have a release date. Um, like that's actually how I got mine. Is I Activision actually sent me Thrillipede and Buzzwing and said, "Hey, here you go. You can review the figure. This is the release date." And so I made a video. I think it's probably still up on the channel saying, "Hey, here's the figure. Here's what it looks like. Let's play with it in game and all this jazz." And this is when it's supposed to release. This is what I was told is the release date. And then that date came and went, and they just never released it. So don't really know. What's going to be in the upcoming Whatnot stream? So I am going to get the items for the Whatnot stream listed today. Right now, at this moment in time, I honestly don't know exactly what's going to be in the stream. Um, but yeah, I will have those items listed today, so you can see that ahead of time, and you have some advance notice of what's going to be there. Do, 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 do. Uh, why Swap Force for the Xbox One so expensive? So Xbox One, PS4, Swap Force, and Trap Team. You have to rewind back to 2014, 2015, or 2013, 2014, and remember that those two consoles back then were brand new. Like, not a lot of people had them. They're kind of hard to find, not as hard as like the PS5 was to get back in the day, but they were new consoles. So only like hardcore gamers were buying them. You know, the 10 year when you were 6, 10, 12 years old, did you have a PS4 back in 2013, 2014? Probably not. You had the Wii, you had a 360, you had a PS3, and your parents probably said, "That's good enough. We'll buy it for those consoles." And that's what sold a lot of. So they actually part of it is they didn't produce a lot for those consoles because they knew their demographic and they knew their demographic didn't own those consoles, and so they weren't going to sell as many on those consoles. Um, but then they they just I mean, because they knew that they didn't produce them, and as they predicted, they didn't sell as many, and therefore they're not out in the market right now. Um, so that is the gist of it. They it's all about supply and demand. In this case, it's a low supply, and nowadays, because the PS4 can be played on the PS4 and PS5, which are the current gen consoles, and the Xbox One can be played on the Xbox One and the Xbox whatever Series X, whatever the one is with the disk drive. Um, like that's what people want. And unfortunately, the supply was very low back then. It hasn't gotten any better, obviously. They didn't produce new copies of the game. And so now the demand is very high for those copies, and therefore the price goes up, up, up. Ba. Looking for swappers soon. Yep. Everything comes in eventually into the shop. Just got to keep looking at those. Dylan, Chompy Mage has jumped up in price. Yes. It jumped from 350 to 400. I was just doing some research recently, and yeah, Chompy Mage is going up in price again. Someone commented a couple of weeks ago maybe during the last live stream, that yeah, chompy mage is getting really hard to find these days. And so I looked into it and it's like, sure enough, like there's barely any for sale. I think I saw like one for $500. Um, and all the ones that have sold recently are in that like $400 range. Some have already sold over $400. So it's rough. It's rough. Pinata's rare. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely hard to find for sure. Glow in the dark 3DS portal. Eddie, that's a great question. It's definitely rare, hard to find. I don't know that I've actually sold one, so I don't know what they go for. I'd have to do. You can try to look for them on eBay. I don't know if you'll find any sold comps there or not. Um, but yeah, that's definitely a harder piece to find. Tobias, you do not have to be a member to win the giveaway. Anybody can win. Anybody can win. How much do you think is CYSO Imagineer? Well, damaged on the inside. It depends on the buyer and seller. That's going to be a tough one. Non-damaged ones have been selling in the $500 to $600 range. Um, but regardless, they're still rare. They're still hard to find. And so I'm sure you can still get a few $100 for it, but it's just going to come down to either finding a seller who, or I mean, a buyer who doesn't care about the damage, or just finding the right buyer. And I'm sure you can still get a few $100 for it. But exactly where that is, you just have to agree on a price with the buyer and seller, and that's going to be what happens. So whether it means you put it up for auction and let the market decide, or if you sell it privately and just agree upon a price that way. Um, do, 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 do. Yeah, thank you for helping answer the questions before I get to them, because you know I fall behind on these. All right. Invader, yeah. That's been my experience as well, is that the giants, like the actual giants like Tree Rex Crusher and them, um I I've started to wonder honestly if they used different chips in those figures, because they seem to die off faster than the others, um, or have more problems, whether it's just with getting the lights to light up, or with the figure not working, or it not reading on a trap team portal or something like that. Specifically, I've noted Bouncer, Crusher, and Swarm are my top three that seem to have the most problems. Um, like all the giants kind of have that problem, but those three in particular tend to be the worst of the bunch. So I don't know. I don't have the information to know if they actually changed the chips they were using for those figures or not. All right. Do, 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 do. Lucas just got the big three. Nice. Congrats. I have a Bowser and DK, but no Wii U. Would be worth buying the Wii U just to play these characters. I mean that's a decision you'll have to make. I mean, you could. I mean, they're fun. I did back in the day, honestly, buy a Wii U just to play those characters. I have since sold the Wii U, um, just because I don't play it that much. Not enough to justify keeping it around. Um, so I don't know what to tell you on that one. That's a decision you have to make personally. Is it worth spending probably a few $100? What does a Wii U sell for these days? If you can find a cheap used one, maybe go about it that way. But I don't know. Um, Freddie, I don't give an exact time for the giveaway for exactly the reason you're asking, probably. Um, like I want people to come and hang out and the giveaway to go to someone who I don't know what's the polite way of saying this, who isn't just here for the giveaway. Um, so yeah, I don't have a specific time set for the giveaway. All right. Is there any way we could recharge the chip? So it's not like a battery died or anything like that. There are no batteries in Skylanders. Well, clear that up one more time. There are no batteries in Skylanders. Um, so there's not anything to really recharge. It's just whether there's a bad connection or the chip got wet possibly and shorted out, or um, technology sometimes just wears out. That there's nothing you can do about it. So no, there's not really a way to recharge the chip or anything like that. Um, why is my air striker only reading when the portal is on the floor? Where is your portal normally, Sushi? Um, the the one thing I can tell you, the warning that they always gave us is keep the portals off of metal surfaces. Metal surfaces can interact with the field that the NFC, the near field communication that is used to um, read the chips in the Skylanders. Like that's the only thing I can think of offhand. But yeah, keep it away from metal surfaces. Why is my shipping so much? Because shipping is expensive. I'm a small business and shipping is expensive, and I need to be able to cover those costs to stay in business. That's the short of it. Um, I've tried to keep shipping costs as low as possible for as long as possible, but after the first 2 or 3 years, I was started analyzing stuff and found I was losing thousands and thousands of dollars on shipping every year. And so I had to raise my shipping costs. International shipping, if that's what you're talking about, international shipping is just ridiculously expensive to ship from the US to anywhere else. And so I've done my best to get those rates as cheap as possible. I do have a video on the channel um, about ways you can help keep those rates as low as possible. Because if you get over like four pounds or $400 worth of stuff, um, the rates skyrocket, and there's only so much I can do to keep them down. And it below those thresholds will help keep things down too. Um, but yeah, I my rates are for international folks are roughly like 50 to 75% of what you would normally pay if you just went like to the post office to ship something. Um, so like I said, I try to keep them as low as possible for you because I don't want to charge you an arm length for shipping, but I also don't want to lose so much money that I go out of business. Any leads on a new mystery warehouse? No, Martin. Unfortunately, I do not have any more secret Skylanders warehouses. Uh, my opinion on painting Skylanders: you do you. If you want to paint them, go for it. I can't stop you. Now, when I get painted Skylanders in, I'm not going to list them in the shop. We sometimes sell them on Whatnot, or they go in the damaged mystery boxes, but that's not something I can sell in the shop. Doug, you're welcome. Glad we could help you out. That's exactly why the shop exists. Is there a comprehensive written list somewhere where I can learn about release dates for Skylanders? So if you go to skylanderscharacterlist.com and just do a search for release dates, Um, I did like I don't have it for the first 2 games, but I think starting with Swap Force, I started compiling uh the information about when things were released. So I know it's not quite complete because I think by the time we got the last couple releases for Imaginators, I didn't necessarily update the site. Um, I'll fix that eventually. I have some plans, but it's on the back burner because it's not a huge concern right now. Um, but along with that, the Skylanders 101 section on SkylandersCharacterList.com that discusses um, waves and release dates and early releases and all different sorts of terminology we used back in the day to explain that type of stuff. Um, I do have articles about that there that might help you out and understand a little bit better what we're talking about and why things are the way they are. It's $15 for Gusto, good price, good condition, and in-person purchase. Um, 15 seems a little high, unless I would say if it's new in box. If it's new in box, I could see 15 being okay. Um, but otherwise, it does seem a bit high because that's like double what I charge in the shop. So that's getting into that kind of iffy territory. Like, if you're okay with it, if you're fine paying that and you just want to get your hands on it right away, go for it. But yeah, that seems a little bit high. What was the rarest Skylander on SCL Collectibles? Like the rarest one I've sold through the shop is different than like sold at auction. Because the rarest we sold at auction is probably the 3D printed Imaginators. Like I said, those go between like 500 and 600. Um, we've had some custom painted figures that have gone over 400. Um, so yeah, it's honestly weird stuff like that. It's not. I mean, it's standard figures like a Robo 375, Chompy Mage at 350, stuff like that have sold in the shop. I don't know. All right. Am I still thinking about the golden chop chop? Anything sushi? I've actually acquired a gold chop chop, not from that shop that I keep passing through, but when I added a bunch of other chase variants, I got that one along with it as well. Where is clear ramshell found? Single packs? Yeah, single pack. It could, I believe, it could appear in that castle bundle. Um, but yeah, that was wave 5 of Spyro's Adventure. So that would have been early 2012. How much is Robo in the shop? So Robo, I just bumped up the price of as well, is also sitting at 400 right now. Skylanders game. My favorite is still Spyro's Adventure. 3D printed. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the 3D printed, there was a time Activision partnered with a company called Shapeways, and you could create like with the creation crystals, you would create your character in the game, and then you could actually send that file to Shapeways, and I think they cost like $50 back in the day, and they would 3D print your figure, and they would put a chip in it programmed to your Imaginator, and then they would send it back, and you'd have a 3D printed version of your character that you created. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, for anybody who's new here who doesn't know how the giveaway works, at some point during this live stream, I'm not giving you any specific time. I don't have a time in mind right now. Like we're gonna get to playing the game soon. And that is the kind of the main focus of the stream, I guess. Well, actually, I guess the giveaway is, but I after I play for a bit, we'll just somewhere in the middle of the stream say, "Hey, all right, it's giveaway time," and I will give you a specific word that you need to type in the chat. We'll give you like 5 minutes to type it in the chat, and then though I have some software that I use that will pick a winner from everybody who has entered that word in the chat. So that's all that it is. There's basically you need to be here to win, because you need to be here during that basically 5 minute entry period. But that's all it is typing a word in the chat. But we'll come up with that later. Do I have the silver and bronze trap shadow? Yes, I do. It is unfortunately way up on the top shelf up there, and I basically like need a ladder to get to it right now. So I can't show that to you right now. Why is Robo so expensive? He was the last figure produced. He was the last figure sold. He unlocks a level. He there's because of all those things, there's a big demand for him, and we are assuming a lower supply, or at least a lower amount actually got into stores. Even if they produced more, they didn't all make it to stores because it was late wave release, and so it goes pretty high. Now, should it be as high as it is? Maybe not, but yeah, it's expensive. Managed to get Robo for 240 euros. Nice. Not a bad price nowadays. How do we order the figures on my shelves? By game, basically. So you can kind of see like right here, this is all the Giants standard figures, and then down here will be all the Giants variants. And like right here behind my head is all the Trap Team standard figures, and then mostly down here is Trap Team variants. But there were so many Trap Team figures, like I think all the light and dark went down here because we kind of had a system where my wife actually organized the shelf. But like it was set up for the 8 elements, right? That we had in the first 3 games. And so the 8 elements standard figures Trap Team went up here, and then had to add light and dark down here with the variants, and the minis are down there on the bottom. You can see Imaginators over here. I think we did all the standard figures here, variants here. There are a few standard figures on the shelf just because there were so many and the figures got bigger. And then like creation crystals and chests down below. Up top, you can't see it, but it's the same pattern for the other 3 games. And then way up top, I have like chase variants and Eon's Elite and stuff like that. Courtney, do I owe you a t-shirt? Legitimately? Did I forget about that? If I do, I have a sneaking suspicion in the back of my head that I might actually owe you a t-shirt. Message me privately and we'll make that happen. Yeah, you'll have to refresh my memory about that. Sorry. How often do we find piñata? When I hunt, super rare. I think I've only found 1, maybe 2 in the wild. Piñatas usually come from collections. Recently bought the land trophy. Awesome. 100% complete base collection. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. As we discussed earlier, like I only need 7 pieces left for my collection. Happy Birthday, Ben, Starcast, and then 6 unreleased items. So that includes Heartbreaker Buckshot and the 5 unreleased Creation Crystals. So any standard item, any in-game variant, I have all that stuff. How much is the 3D printed Imaginator worth? We've sold a bunch on the open market recently for 500 to 600. They consistently go between 500 and 600. Why are there only 3 chase variants for Trap Team? That's all I produced. I, I my guess is partly that like they already had so many figures being produced because Trap Team just has so many figures. Because we had the Trap Masters, we had the cores, we had the minis, we had the traps, all of those things, and then so many in-game variants of all of those things that they just said, okay, we'll make some chase variants, but it's going to be very minimal. Yeah. Um, there's an eBay listing for a complete Imaginators collection for $1,000. Not necessarily. I would need to see what complete means because I've seen people advertise complete things before and they're still missing a bunch of items. Like if it's a complete Imaginators collection that has, Robo and Green Chompy Mage and Wildstorm, like those 3 figures alone nowadays could be worth $1,000. So if it's complete, like $1,000 is a steal. Um, but I kind of doubt that it's actually complete, would be my guess. Either that or it's already sold because someone would have picked that up pretty quick. You have Jillian's art hanging up in the living room. I'm sure she loves that. uh, who's my favorite character and why? For those, Martin. All right. Anybody who's a member of YouTube, of this YouTube channel, give me the custom emoji showing my favorite character. Favorite character. Show it off. And don't play that game. Don't give him my least favorite character. We never should have given you that emoji. I have the ability to take it away. I won't do it, but I have the ability. Oh man. Yeah, Mendadox, I literally just got back into town last night, like late last night. I've been home for about 12 hours. Um, I haven't had the ability to take any measurements of anything. So I can try, but I have a lot of catching up to do with business stuff. So it might be a while before I get to taking measurements of stuff. What stores do I go to? I check out some of the road trip videos that we have on the channel. It'll give you a good idea. I hit a lot of chain stores just because they're easy to find. If I get recommendations for little mom and pop shops, I love to check them out. I just they're harder to find. So, I mean, it depends what state we're talking about because most chains are kind of regional. So if we're talking, I mean, I go to Game Exchange, I go to Disc Replay, Disc Traders. The Exchange is different from Game Exchange. Um, Movie Trading Company. Like, there's a whole bunch of different chains that I go to. And those are typically what I do. What's the best way to get yawn traps other than praying? um, I I don't have a good way to get yawn traps. I mean, we have the light yawn traps in the shop. We actually lowered the price on them last month. Um, but the life and fire yawn traps, like they're super rare. I just got them in my collection within the past year, and so I haven't. I found. I think I've sold maybe 2 of each since, or maybe only 1 fire, but like 2 life or something like that. Um, they're hard to find. I don't have any tips. They're super rare. All right. But no, don't enter rest mode. All right, my game is telling me that I should probably start playing. It's trying to shut down my PlayStation. Eddie, Double Dare Trigger Happy and Gold Rush for 60 right now. Yes, those have been shooting up in price. Um, Double Dare Trigger Happy alone nowadays can easily be 50, $60. So if you can get it with the Gold Rusher, that's a good deal there. All right. Um, realistically, how much would you be willing to pay? Steel, I haven't even thought about that. Those come up so rarely. Um, I honestly don't have a price in mind right now. All right. Yeah, there we go. Camo's my favorite. Ignore those firecrackers. He's the worst. Wait. Jindigo, as of, are you giving me counts? As of order 19,925, are there updates coming? We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. Do I collect stat cards and sticker sheets? Yeah, I have a complete collection of those. We're working on getting those listed in the shop as well because I know that some other people are collecting those too. But yeah, my collection is complete on those. What kind of damage do the Skylanders have in the damage shop? Honestly, it could be Zach. It could be any kind of damage. The only thing I guarantee is that the figures still work in the game. So we've had one sometimes where the entire figure is missing from the base, and it's just the base that has the chip in it, and we'll include that in a damage mystery box because it still works in the game. Um, it can be sometimes it's just a missing arm, sometimes it's a little bit of paint or a Sharpie mark that we can't get off the figure. So sometimes it's very minimal, but sometimes, yeah, the head is completely gnawed off by a pet or something like that. And so it's missing a head, missing a wing, missing an arm. Um, I mean, as the only guarantee is that they still work in the game. They've been tested, they still work in the game. So it could have any kind of damage. What kind of Skylanders are included? It's a fairly good variety. It's a mystery box. The like once again, the only thing I guarantee is that you won't get duplicates within the one box. So it's 30 figures for $30. Um, and it's going to be a variety of figures. But yeah, it's typically not going to be anything super rare. Like if we get a damaged Robo, we sell that at auction. Like that's something that people will still pay very good money for, even in its damaged state. So we'll sell that elsewhere. Um, but could there be trap masters? Absolutely. Could there be an occasional imaginator? Possibly. Um, like anything is possible basically, but don't expect super rare characters because those will, like I said, be sold at auction typically. All right. Popo, member for 3 months. Congrats. Thank you very much for that support. Hello from France. Hello from America. Glad you could join us. My personal favorite sensei. If we include the villains, it's probably Hoodsickle. Otherwise, Hoodsickle or Starcast are my top two. Lucas, when we normally restock the store, we don't have a strict schedule. Once again, if you want to know when the shop updates are going to happen, you got to check out either follow SCL Jillian on Twitter. You can follow the community feed of this YouTube channel, or you can become a member of this YouTube channel and join the SCL Discord. The SCL Discord, thus being a paid community, does actually get updates about the shop updates first. We update the Discord, and then we update Twitter and YouTube shortly after. But with that SCL Discord, obviously there's a community growing there. You can see people are members of that are members of the channel here. I believe everybody that's a member of the channel is over on the Discord right now. So you can go hang out with those folks there, have some good conversations, but also be the first to be notified about shop updates. But yeah, it's not on a set schedule. It's usually 2 to 3 times. Let's say 1 to 3 times per week. But I it's whatever works best based on the stock that we have coming in, based on the time we have during the week to test and reset figures and get them into the system. There's a lot of a prep work that goes into getting stuff into the shop, and so we can't guarantee when that's going to happen. All right, Jindigo has some numbers. Wow, those are some big numbers. I Jindigo, I'm if I'm correct, those are currently items in stock in the shop, right? I think that's usually what you're counting here, just for anybody who might not have seen these numbers before. But yeah, we have a lot of giants in there right now, which does not surprise me at all. Yeah, lots of cards. Why are there 63 new in box water jug heads? I got a good deal on them. I actually have more like Life Torch new in box and Water Log Holder new in box, but they just haven't made it into the shop yet. Um, yeah. Why is the Stealth Stinger so cheap? I don't know. Do you want me to make it more expensive? I I I'm glad you think it's cheap. Um, yeah. What do you see the prices for standard Chompy Mage being in a few years? That's hard to predict. I'm honestly shocked it's gotten as high as it is right now. Like I said, I just raised it this week up to $400, um, and it's currently on par now with Robo. I mean, if in a few years, honestly, I expect that green Chompy Mage will be more expensive than Robo on the regular. So we'll see. Um, there you go. Literally working on listing them as this stream happens. Perfect. SCL Jillian, always hard at work. All right. Do I play Skylanders or only buy and sell them? I mean, buying and selling is the business, so that's the main thing. But yes, I do play Skylanders. Speaking of which, we should probably get into some of that. Because that like I'm trying to 100% swap force here. Um, so here let's shift over to the game here and see what we can do. I'll keep up with chat as we go along as we normally do, but Martin, member for 33 months. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you for the years of support. Where do I store all the stuff you're selling? Most of it is currently with SCL Jillian. Yeah. SCL Jillian's basement is quite full right now. Um, but my basement is also quite full right now. And yeah, there's a possibility we might have to look at another space just to keep things going. There you go, in the dungeon. Mm. All right. All right. Crusher, I'm not sure what the question is here. Do you change the price? Oh, do you change the price for standard figures? Sorry, I read that wrong. Or just rare ones. Yeah, I do update prices for standard figures from time to time as well. They change less often than the rare figures. But yes, if anybody had been tracking the prices in the SCL shop from the very beginning to now, like you will see a lot of things have changed prices. Some go up, some go down. Um, but yeah, it's it prices do change. Yes. Yes. Jabori, yes, 22% left. We are at 78% on this file. I'm trying to get this file to 100. Said I've done it on the PS3. I need to do it on the PS4 now. And see how this goes. But whew. All right. Here, let me get some sound for myself. If I would have put these headphones on sooner, I would have realized the echo happening. All right. Who are we starting with today? I need a character suggestion. Has to be from Swap Force. Plant King. So I don't have prices for a lot of the rare figures if we don't sell them in the shop. So that's basically why they're so rare that, and the prices can fluctuate so much that it wouldn't make sense for me to really list them on the site like that. Um, so I've made that conscious decision not to list a price because, like I said, the rare figures fluctuate a lot more than standard figures prices do, and so it just wouldn't make sense. It would give people a false idea of the price, I guess is what I'm saying. Because I know a lot of people do come to my site to price stuff, and it just wouldn't feel right to give them bad numbers. All right. Let me get back to some of the early requests here. Free Ranger, Fire Kraken. Not doing Fire Kraken. Scratch. Okay. We can start off with Free Ranger here. Ooh. Hold up. I need sound here. Or wait. Is that my sound? Where's my sound? Nope. Oh, hold up. It should be. Oh man. It's been way too long since I've done this. Okay, so the sound is coming through there. Why is it not in my headphones? All right, we may need to reboot this briefly. Why? I want my sound. Okay, Do any of you hear game sound? I guess that's my first question. Okay. Oh, wait, hold up. Interesting. Okay. This may have more to do with the problems that I was having before. Okay. If that, nope, that's going to give me. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, there was a brief moment of success there. But it came with other consequences. What changed? There's sound running there. That should be running. All right, we're going to try rebooting this. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, technical difficulties are real. I'm going to have to go silent for a moment. Okay. My voice is back there. This should be coming in there. But if we unmute this, play that over there. It's only input I want is from the game. But that's not working for some reason. Why is that not working? We might have to play the game without sound today, which would suck. Or we can just skip the game, which would also suck. Why don't you want to play today? That should be fine. No, it's not the game settings. Because yeah, I confirmed like the game sound is actually playing. It's just not coming through the system I'm using to stream for some reason. Okay, let me back this out. Move that from the stream. Move that. Actually, here, let's reboot this and see if that helps at all. Did you try rebooting? That's right. It's always the first question. All right, that works there. Wait, to share audio, share a tab instead. Wait. That's not how it worked before. No, that should be fine. I've done, unless they changed their system. Maybe that's the problem. That would be interesting, and that would answer my questions. If my streaming software changed how they handle audio. Because I don't recall seeing this warning here before. Which would suck. It would suck a lot. Because I don't think I can play this in a tab the way we want me to. I do not use OBS right now. Like I wanted something simpler than OBS. I've run into too many technical difficulties with OBS over the years. So I went for something simpler because I just don't stream that often. I usually stream at most once a month. And so like that's why I've chosen to use this system, even though it's not necessarily made for video game streaming, but it's always worked. Um, and so I've just kept using it. But now I'm wondering if they change something that's going to not
Allow
allow
me
to do what I want. All right. There we're still on the double. Okay. But if I mute that to get rid of the echo, it doesn't help me play the game. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, that might be the issue, is that my software updated something that might not allow me to do this the way I used to do this. And that seems backwards. and very unfortunate if that is indeed the case. That would really, really suck. Let me just do a quick search here and see if I can find anything. I want to see if this was like a recent change that they made, just to kind of confirm what I'm thinking right now. Mm. I see, like according to this, it seems that maybe that option I was looking at was always there. So that hasn't changed in the past month since I've done this. I'm sorry, folks. This is an awful stream right now. But I'm just super frustrated by this. Like, there's no reason to change that. Why it worked last month and shouldn't work this month. Unless I'm doing something different and I'm not thinking this through properly. Because I shouldn't need that sound. So why isn't... Because, yeah, this should still be playing sound. Okay. It's got to be me. Hold on. I'm going to try closing out this thing. I guess it's the one thing I haven't tried rebooting recently other than the computer. And I'd really prefer not to do that. All right. Cross your fingers, everybody. Let's see what's going on. See if we can't get this to work the way I want it to work. Why don't you give me sound? Give me the sound. Okay. Is there a setting in here? Did I hit a button over here? Oh, okay. We're going to go for the ultimate reset. Try rebooting the entire computer. Not because of a power outage. This may take a few minutes. So I'm going to jump back into the stream here. And thank you all for hanging with me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for entertaining yourselves. I wish I wasn't having these problems, but I sadly am right now. So we're going to try this one more thing. Otherwise, maybe we'll try playing the game without sound and see how long you can tolerate that. And eventually we'll get to that giveaway. But wait, there's a birthday? Jillian says there's a birthday. Did I miss something? Where's the birthday? Where's the birthday? Hey, the cook. Happy birthday. Hopefully we can get you a fun stream here, but it's not working right now. Not the way I want it to work. But we're trying. But in any case, I hope you're having a good birthday. Yeah, I'm not convinced it's the software anymore. Like that would have been an easy answer, but yeah, I don't think it is. Gravity Falls is probably a better answer right now than this stream. You've missed technical difficulties. How long does shipping usually take? You live in Europe. Jillian, do you want to step in on this one? Like I know like the postal service or UPS or whoever we use to ship will tell you like anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks. That's a very wide window. And while it may be accurate, I'm not sure what the average time actually is. Oxidized steel, I appreciate that. Stream can still be fun without the audio. How can you reset creation crystals without the Wii? Well, you either need a Wii or a 3DS. Those are the two kind of legit ways to do it. So the Wii with Skylanders Giants or 3DS with Spyro's Adventure or Giants. Like that, those are really the only ways to do it with the software that they give you. Charlie, how often do we get molten hot dog? How often I get any figure, like even if I got it once a week for the past 3 weeks, doesn't mean that like I'm gonna get another one next week. So that's a really tough question to answer. The best thing I can say is go back and to either SCL Jillian's Twitter feed or the community feed of this YouTube channel and just scroll through some of the past pictures and see like how often do we get those things in, and that might give you some idea. But just because we haven't gotten something in 3 months doesn't mean we won't get it next week. So it's it's really hard to say. Okay, why? Okay, if I do that, so theoretically, that's still playing there. Theoretically. We may be getting closer. Hold on. That's goes to echo. Why is that echoing? Where is it actually come from? All right. I don't have good answers for what's going on today. This sucks. I really don't have any idea what's going on or why it's going on. And that is super frustrating. That there's just no real reason for this. Okay. I don't know. That should be fine. That's fine. Try this one more time. Oh no. The problem's over here. I can't hear the sound. Why can't I hear the sound? I should still be able to hear it in my headphones, even if it's... So sound's not coming in. Wait, why didn't that affect anything? All right. There is something weird going on with my system, and I can't explain it. So I guess we can try. We can still go about it this way. See what happens. We're gonna have to do this to get rid of the echo. All right. Come on. Now you're going to give me 12 days worth of lag. Okay. Maybe I'm just not meant to play the game today. Because, yeah, you're not going to want to watch that. Which is weird because it's not lagging on my screen. Yeah, that lag is awful. All right, folks. I apologize for that. This has officially turned into a chat with Matt session. We are not dealing with the game. I'm just closing that out. We're not doing that. I'm not. Nope. We're calling it quits there. I might have to look into at some point upgrading that system because I would love to play the game more regularly with you. But with that system right now, I can't do it. I can't do it. So yeah, chat with Matt. What questions you got? I apologize if there were questions in the chat before. I probably missed them, so feel free to repeat any questions you have. And I'm just gonna sit here with my Voodoo Mountain Dew, not a sponsor. And my cashews and talk some Skylanders with you. All right, let's see what we go. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of emulating games. I prefer to play them on the consoles. That's just my personal preference. So I'm probably not going to go that route. Banana King, if you have a Imaginator starter pack on Switch, you can contact me, Matt at SkylandersCharacterList.com, and we can talk details. I'm not going to make deals here live on air. But yeah, if you want to contact me, we can throw that up here. Where is email address? Matt at SkylandersCharacterList.com. That's where the deals happen. That's where you can contact me. I ask that you send pictures of whatever you have for sale along with your asking price, and we can start there. But yeah, I'm not gonna, like I said, not gonna make deals live on air here. So send me an email and we can talk it over. I scrolled back too far. Oh no. Someone called Wind Up to help with the technical issues. I don't know if I'd trust Wind Up with my tech issues. do the giveaway first to get the energy back up in the stream. Honestly, I would say doing the giveaway would suck energy out of the stream. For anybody who hasn't been here all day, we are giving away a new inbox Thrillipede. But what usually happens after the giveaway is that everybody leaves. We lose about 50% of the people. Not that I'm just here for the numbers, but yeah, I'd rather have people here to hang out, chat, and see what goes on. My favorite chips. I don't know that I have a singular favorite. I have a few that I rotate between, like just original nacho cheese Doritos. Like I'm a big fan of them. I actually just bought some today at the store because we were basically out of food in the house. So I bought some of those. I'll eat them tomorrow during the Packers game. It could be a good game. Packers Vikings. Vikings actually seem to be somewhat put together this year, at least more than they have been in recent years. So yeah, Doritos are good. Otherwise, sour cream and onion. I will eat that on most varieties of chips. Sour cream and onion Ruffles in particular are probably my go-to, but like sour cream and onion Lays are just fine. But yeah, those are probably kind of my go-to chips, I guess, if I just feeling snacky and want something along those lines. Not a sponsor, just a shout out. Yeah. What time do you think What Not Listing will be posted? It will probably be when this stream ends. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and then I will work on the whatnot stuff. So if the stream usually ends 5-ish, 5 p.m. Central Time ish, so in like 2 hours. Give me an hour to relax, get some food and stuff. So I'd probably start listing stuff around 6, and that usually takes about an hour. So maybe by 7 o'clock tonight, Central Time, I would imagine we could have most of the whatnot items listed. Or at least you'll see some progress being made. But yeah, they will be listed tonight. They will be listed tonight. Yeah. Yeah, the voodoo is so good every year. I mean, some people are convinced it's the same flavor every year. Some people are convinced it's not. Theoretically, it's a different mystery flavor every year, but I don't know if do they ever actually announce the official flavor, or does it get leaked, or just like people keep guessing, or what? I don't know. But do I know anything about the Pink Hat Fling Kong? Yeah, I own a Pink Hat Fling Kong. I don't really know a lot about it. I only learned about it in the past couple of years. And so I haven't seen that many out there. They don't seem to be quite as prevalent as like Purple Lip Chill or something like that, but it goes along those same lines. So $35, yeah, I think that's probably a reasonable price. I could see a few of them if I put them up for auction, going a bit above that initially, just because there's probably half a dozen people that really want one in their collection, and would be willing to pay up a little bit for it. But is it actually worth that much? Probably not. They're probably overpaying a little bit. So I could see it going in that like 35 to 50 range. But I'd say 35 is probably a fair price. Because I mean, Fling Kong alone is a hard enough to find figure. But the pink hat, yeah, it's definitely tough to find. But yeah, I think that's a good average estimate for what it might be worth. What Skylanders I have left to collect? I'm down to 7. I'm down to 7 items I need for my collection. Happy birthday, Ben Starcast. Happy birthday, Ben Starcast, Heartbreaker Buckshot, and the 5 unreleased creation crystals. That's it. That's all I'm looking for my collection. Luke, you're welcome. Those messages come purely from SCL Jillian, who has been around here today. So hopefully she sees that. But yeah, you're welcome. I know she appreciates that you appreciate them, and that's why they keep happening. Which part of the US do I live in? I live in Wisconsin. It's no secret. I live in Wisconsin. Boomer is the real solution to tech problems. Yeah. Is Royal Double Trouble an in-game variant of a chase variant? So yeah, Royal Double Trouble is one of those that doesn't really fit into a box, like nice and neat, like everything else. So like while we try to help you classify items by saying in-game variant and chase variant, like chase variant is just a quick and easy way of saying like non-in-game variant, but at the same time, like metallic green Gil Grunt is technically a chase variant by that definition, and pumpkin eyebrow is a chase variant by that definition. But they do not fall into the same category as a traditional chase variant that is very hard to find, like the uh, clear thunderbolt or clear shortcut or something like that, or clear stealth elf. Um, that's kind of your typical definition of chase variant as far as other collectibles go. One that is randomly inserted into, packs of cards, or in this case, cases of figures. Um, and so that confuses some people already. Like we've kind of adopted and amended the what chase variant means in Skylanders, and so it's kind of tough to say. And then you get into Royal Double Trouble, who yes shows up in game, but um like Double Trouble 1.5 is already kind of a chase variant, but unintended. It was like I don't know how intentional Double Trouble 1.5 was, but yes, Double Trouble 1.5 could arguably be a chase variant, and so then yes, Royal would be an in-game variant of a chase variant. Um, and it's hard to say exactly what it is if you limit yourself to just those two categories. So that's where we're at. Um, do, 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 do. You can finally watch Packers game. Yeah. So if you don't know as well, I should mention that part of the reason we continually bring up the Packers, not only because I'm a huge Packers fan, um, but every year I do the Packers discount. Um, so like if the Packers win, I actually put a discount up in the shop based on how many points they won by. So like last week, they tore through the Titans. We won 30-14. And the maximum discount I'll give it is 15%, but they won by 16 points. So everything in the shop was 15% off. Um, if you use the coupon code GoPackGo. So keep that in mind tomorrow, because if the Packers win tomorrow, then on Monday, the discount will be active. It's always the day after game day, but Packers play tomorrow. So even if you're not a football fan, if you're looking to shop in the shop, keep an eye out on that for those discounts. Yeah. How do we enter the giveaway? So just stay tuned. I'll give you like if you're hanging out here, I'm gonna give you a word to type into the chat, and that's how you enter. That's all that it takes. I'll explain it when the time comes. Just keep hanging out. Are you planning on doing something for Trap Team's 10-year anniversary? Every year this comes around, I have thought like, hey, I should do something. And some years I've even been like 6 months in advance. I'm like, all right, this is the year. I'm gonna do something. And then all of a sudden it's 3 months away. And it's like, ooh, I should get on that. And then 2 months, 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Like, I still haven't done anything yet. The business takes up a lot of my time. And right now, the business is currently run by myself and Jillian. It's a lot. And that doesn't leave me a lot of time for special projects. Um, it takes everything out, like all the spare time I have right now, just to keep project coming into the shop and to try to put out one video per week. Um, so projects beyond that don't always get a lot of attention, and I'm trying to change that, but I can't guarantee anything because right now we're at that point where the 10-year anniversary is what, 2 weeks away ish. So yeah, I don't have anything major planned. Maybe if I can get this live stream thing figured out, we can maybe stream some Trap Team or something like that, but it's not going to be anything major. Do I think Rayman would have been a good Skylander? I think he would fit the vibe of Skylanders very well. However, I think you would have a very tough time making a Rayman figure, right? Because Rayman doesn't really have appendages. Like he's kind of just magically held together. Like he's got a torso and hands and feet, but like no arms and legs. So like how do you make a Rayman figure? That's the biggest question, I think. Da, da, da. 2 hours of unpaid questions. Ham hands. I've done entire streams before, specifically just chatting with you guys. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, we almost made it 2 hours into the stream with before I even tried playing the game. Like I have no problem with that. Could talk with you all day. Pink hat Fling Kong. Yeah, here. All right. Let me go grab this quick. It's on the other side of the room, so I have to go do a thing. All right, I'm back. So for those of you who aren't familiar, this is Fling Kong. He normally has like this bluish colored hat. Like he has so many different colors, shades of blue here. And it's kind of hard. It's kind of a bluish, grayish, purplish. It depends what light you're in. But then there's this guy who has this like pink hat. Like it is very, very pink. And if you hold it up next to each other, it's very obviously a different color. Like there's no question about it. So that's what we're talking about when we say pink hat Fling Kong. It's actually a Fling Kong with a pink hat. Like it's quite obvious. It's even easier to showcase than Purple Lip Chill, who's just a very fine painting detail. So I still don't have a full story behind this. Like I don't know if this was similar to Purple Lip Chill in that it was just a like first run kind of thing where they fixed it later, um or what, but like I've only seen a handful of these in my lifetime. Like I don't know. I want the full story behind it, but I don't have the full story behind it. So keep an eye out for those. They're hard to find. Where do we go? What do I do in my free time? I don't have a lot of free time right now. This time of year, my free time is mostly filled up with football. the NFL. I'm a big fan of that. So I play fantasy football. I like just watching football. Um, I do sometimes play video games. I haven't played many lately, but yeah, I do occasionally. Um, so yeah, I collect other things. I collect Lorcana cards right now. That's a big one for me. I want to get into playing Lorcana more. Um, and that's something I'm trying to make some more room for. But at this time, yeah, the business takes up a lot of my time. How easy would it have been for Amiibo to make a Skylander style game? Yeah. Um, it would have been fairly simple for them, I think. I mean, they know how to make Mario games and Zelda games and all that type of thing. And like they even made, Zelda Amiibo or Mario Amiibo. Like they could have easily said, "Hey, here's Mario with this hat, and here's Mario with a different hat, and here's Mario with a different hat or a different outfit," and sold those as playable characters in the game, and people would have eaten it up for sure. Like I'm positive of that. But yeah. Yeah, the pink hat could be a dye error. It's very possible. I've wondered sometimes if if the pink hat is like what it started out as. Like they started with pink plastic and then either dyed it or colored it differently to get the blue. Yeah, just like how some lobsters have clear star. That's a different issue, I think, though. And the water traps, yeah, that's just a lack of dye. Well, in that respect, I guess, yeah. Maybe the pink hat, like I was saying, that's kind of the base layer they used, and then they forgot to dye to the blue, and somehow got out of the factory that way. I don't know. Yeah, I have once again, if you're asking for about my collection, I have everything but those 7 items that I mentioned earlier. So I do have that. What's a fair price? Those fluctuate a lot. I'd have to go and look and see what current prices are at. In general, my general, very, very generic guideline for rare chase variants, you're probably looking um, well, it depends if it's looser in box as well. I always use like 300 as a guideline. Like on average, a rare chase variant will run you about 300 bucks. Now, there's a lot of factors that can play into that. Loose figures are going to be go for less. There are, and then there is a level of rarity in between there because like the Imaginators chase variants tend to go for more. They could be 4, 5, 600, especially if they're new in box. So employee edition like Core Prison Break, I mean, I think that's fairly standard. You're probably looking in the $200 to $400 range, depending on factors. But yeah, I if I were buying or selling, I would have to go look at current prices and see what's going on with it right now. Go search on eBay, turn on the filter for sold items, and see what's going on with it. Were there Heartbreaker Buckshot examples produced? Yes, yes, there are actual physical Heartbreaker Buckshot figures out there. I don't know if they ever got as far as printing the box for it, but the figures actually do exist. I have seen pictures that I can confirm are legit figures. Um, I've heard rumblings that there's anywhere from 12 to 2,000 of them that were produced at one point. Um, Depending who you want to believe. I don't have hard evidence enough to confirm any of those numbers right now. And so I'm not going to go on a limb and say, yeah, this is exactly how many were produced. But the fact of the matter is, some were produced. And therefore, it's still on my list. Have I gone hunting on the East Coast? Depends what you mean by East Coast. I think the closest I've gotten is I've done some hunting in like South Carolina and North Carolina. Um, I haven't really done anything in Florida. If you're talking like New England area, I haven't really done much coastally there either. I've done some like Western New York type of stuff, but nothing really on the coast. Have you ever fully maxed the Skylander level upgrades, heroic challenges, quests? Personally, no, I have not because I've never taken the time to like sit down and do all the heroic challenges. I know a lot of people who have, but it's a huge undertaking to get all those done. Um, so yeah, that that's not something I've taken the time to do. I more enjoy playing the games for the sake of playing the games as opposed to maxing out characters. Never cared about football until you started watching me. I understand that for sure. Oscar, how you doing? Do you know any way to play Skylanders on PC without pirating it? It's true. There is technically a PC version of Spyro's Adventure that was officially produced. I think the quantities were very limited, and obviously they did not produce for any other games past that, probably because it didn't sell very well. Um, so yeah, that's one of those kind of unicorn items that we just don't see sold very often. They do exist somewhere. I just don't know where. So that yeah, um, past pirating or emulating, like there's not really if you can't find a copy of the game, that's about it. And we have a chart on 3DS Portal compatibility. One of 3DS SSA 3DS Portal works with Giants and Trap Team. It definitely works with Giants. It might work with Trap Team. That's something that I'm working on as well. Um, not only Portal compatibility, but like various regions of games because I know some of them are region locked, but not all of them. And I want to get basically a chart once and for all that says, hey, this is what's compatible, this is what's not. Because I know it can be very, very confusing. So I don't have an easy answer for that on Trap Team because I haven't tried that one recently. I would imagine it would work. I think you only need the Swap Force portal for Swap Force. Because I think by the time we got to Trap Team, I think some versions of it came with the old portal as well. So I can't be for sure. But if anybody in the chat knows, let us know. Um, so no, the Double Trouble 1.5 would be a chase variant because it actually appears as Series 2 Double Trouble. So it has the Series 1 pose, but it appears as Series 2 in the game. And so that's where we get into the um it could be considered a chase variant. Like it still appears the same color scheme, yes, but it shows up as a different figure. And so that's where the confusion comes in. When was the last time you got a green Chompy Mage? Oof. Um, since this is a chat with Matt session, let me see if I can figure that out for you. Come on. Log in. Yes. Oh, hold on. This is something I haven't logged into since my computer shut down. What do you know? Hey, look at that. Breaking news. Jordan Love is expected to return to the lineup against the Vikings. Like I was saying, I'm expecting Jordan Love to play tomorrow. So, for those of you Vikings fans out there, get ready. you're probably not playing against Malik Willis. And most likely going to be Jordan Love's return to Lambeau against the Vikings, and it will be glorious. Or at least it'll be a good game. All right. What am I looking for? I am looking for sales of green Chompy Mage. Chompy Mage. No, it's just gonna be Chompy Mage. Okay. I think these are all gonna be Jingle Bell Chompy Mage. Ooh, how about this one? No, that's a Jingle Bell Chompy Mage too. Chompy Mage, Chompy Mage, Chompy Mage. Jingle Bell. Jingle Bell. There's part of me that wonders if, like, I feel I have sold them in the shop though. Like I was gonna say, like if we haven't sold, ooh, this looks promising. There we go. All right. It is potentially the case that we have not had a green Chompy Mage in the shop since November 11th of, let me just double check the year on this. 2023. November 11th, 2023. So almost a full year. Like that's what we're looking at. Now I will say we have sold at least one, I believe, like in box over on Whatnot in that time. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find that one quite as easily because Whatnot's system does not show me stuff quite as nicely as my website does. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to find that quickly here. I'm just going to do a quick search. But I don't think all shipments. Oh, but you're only going to show me like the first 50 items. Chompy. Nope. Yeah, it's going to make it real difficult for me to find that information. Yeah. So November 11th of last year was the last time we sold one in the shop. So that's gives you some idea. Like they don't show up often. Raptured just ran a 3-mile cross country course. Congratulations. Not a big fan of running. Have I seen Amiibo clear part? Oh yeah. Yeah, Splatoon. I did think about that for Rayman, but I think that would be such a cheap way. Like I would not like that figure at all. Like I think the Amiibo pieces they use to hold figures up look awful in the first place, and that's just like not even a part of the figure. But to like substitute those for arms and legs, I think that'd look awful. All right, we're gonna try to catch up with the chat a little bit here. Fast forward a little bit. Do I know any places in Australia to collect Skylanders? Nope, I don't have any suggestions there. CYOS, yes, it is create your own Skylander. So that's for the figure and the card. Absolutely. What's my favorite Ratchet and Clank game? I don't necessarily have a favorite. I couldn't even tell you all the titles necessarily. I enjoy playing them, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. Like I haven't really come across a Ratchet and Clank game that I didn't enjoy. Let's put it that way. Do you have any Disney Infinity and Amiibo figures? I know you got Lego mentions. Yeah. Uh, I have two Disney Infinity figures, Jasmine and Aladdin. Um, and I have one Amiibo figure that not including Donkey Kong and Bowser. I have a green yarn Yoshi that was a gift from Amiibo Jason. If you're fans of Amiibo and you know who Amiibo Jason is, um, he gifted me a green yarn Yoshi after we did a that was back in the day of Superchargers, and we actually did a live stream together to celebrate Superchargers and the combining of the two worlds. Um, and after the stream, he gave that to me, so I do keep that one, but that's the only one I own per se. I haven't really bought any. Yeah, so undercover, like I'm not saying like everything has to be $300. I'm saying that on average, I use that as a guideline. And then there are variables that can make it worth more or worth less. Like I understand that. And so yes, if you can get December for 150, it's probably a great deal. But when I have people asking me every day for how much is this worth? Well, I got to come up with some way to answer quickly without having to dive into research on each individual figure every time. How hard is it to get all the on traps? Very hard, especially if you're not willing to spend the money. There's typically, one or two of the life and fire yawn traps listed on eBay. Not always, but depends how much you're willing to pay. They are super rare. They are super tough to find. And so if you're willing to spend the money, you can probably get your hands on some today. But if you're looking for a good price, like I was, then it might take you a few years to hopefully find them and find them at the right price. Have I ever gotten a level 65 plus creation crystal? So the trick with this is like I think I have, but um my game file won't allow anything above like I think I'm only at 64 right now. Well, no, I should probably be at 65 because I think 66 is the cap, right? And I think I still or no. Maybe I can't get max now. Because I got my orange chain reaction back. Because the Happy Birthday Ben essentially registers the same as a clear Starcast. So I don't think that might not be an additional figure count or level cap number. I'd have to check on that. But that's the limiting factor. The limit is actually on your game file. And so you need to have enough figures to allow for so okay. Let's say you don't have any of the variants or anything. So your level cap might only be at level 40, let's say. So I could have a creation crystal that has been leveled all the way up to 65. But if we put it in your game, it would only register as a level 40. But then we take it and put it in my game, it'll be a level 65 because the cap depends on the game file itself. So it's hard to say if I've had them previously because I didn't always have all the variants. And I definitely didn't always have them loaded into my game file. So I couldn't tell you if I've come across a maxed out creation crystal before. Anything sushi? What do you mean Northeast, like US? I've done a little bit. I've done a little bit, like I said, in like Western New York. I've done some in New Hampshire. Although I need to go back there since I've gotten a lot of suggestions since I've been there. Um, but I haven't done a whole lot in the New England area, no. Okay, Trap Team Portal was Giants for 3DS. Okay, so it should theoretically work then, right? Or the SSA is this the SSA 3D Portal does work with all 3DS games. Struggles to read swappers a bit, but that's it. Yeah. Okay. Um, how big is having green chompy mages a flex? I mean, if you want to rub it in people's faces, sure, but it could mean you spent $50 back in 2016, and so it's not necessarily a flex, but if you ask me, just saying. There you go, Jordan Love coming off the fantasy bench. I like it. I like it. Haven't played any 3DS Skylanders games yet? Go for it. Yeah, Chatterbug's all about the 3DS games. But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, the 3DS Skylanders games are completely different games than the console versions. What is my favorite giveaway and why? I I don't know. I really don't know. Martin, why not? Why not? Here we go. Do you think it's giveaway time? Should we do a giveaway? Caleb, what do you think is the rarest Skylanders piece or figure? It depends what you qualify. Like if we're talking about if we include unreleased stuff, then yeah, like unreleased. Well, no, it's probably Heartbreaker Buckshot. But like of what I own and like the E3 Spyro is going to be my answer on that. Like I think there are very 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 few of those still in box. CCW, how often do we get Eon's Elite? Do they go on shop or whatnot? So it depends on what's included. If the figures are loose, they go in the shop. If they have the case along with them, or if they're still in the box, those go to whatnot. So we usually have a few of them, like two to three each week in the Whatnot Wednesday show. So we'll probably have a few there this Wednesday. I'll get those items listed later today. Big bird just flew down into the yard. I think it's just a crow. It's kind of boring. But the loose figures probably I think I probably get them more in box than I do loose. And so they're almost always at Whatnot Wednesdays. Like I try to include a few of them every week. Um, so that's probably your best bet if you want to get some, and especially if you want them in box. That's the only way. Like I don't sell the inbox ones in shop. Um, but yeah, if they're loose, they go in the shop. If they're in box, or if they even just have the case or something like that, they go to Whatnot. Um, December is a chase variant, yes. And why did they do the box? Yeah, the employee editions like that are a different story. Um, like they did actually name some of them. Snowbright Stormblade and December are very good examples of that. That if they were not employee editions, 100% would have been in-game variants. But unfortunately, they are chase variants. They do not show up in game. They weren't going to do that. Like they were nice enough not to say, "Hey, This is an in-game variant that we're only giving out to the employees, and we're not selling, and it's just going to appear empty in your collection menu forever because you're not supposed to get the hands on these. They were nice enough not to do that to us. Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity was fine for what it was. It was a very different style of game. If you've ever played, I think it was the Toy Story 3 game, Disney Infinity is very, very similar to that. Very, very similar. It's Heartbreaker Buckshot registering game for more levels. So that's the part I'm unclear about as well, is if the existing Heartbreaker Buckshot figures actually have working chips or not. Like that would be the question, because I believe the code for him is in the game. So theoretically, it would increase that level cap. But I don't know if they actually have, if they got to that point in the testing and put chips in them. Do you think I'll ever collect everything to 100%? I mean, that's my goal. I know where I'm at now. It's going to be a long road. It's going to take many, many years. That I'm not just going to have all the unreleased creation crystals fall into my lap. But that's the journey. I mean, I'm going to do everything I can to collect them and keep telling people publicly, like, hey, I am looking for these. So if you are out there and you own a Heartbreaker Buckshot, get in contact with me. If you own unreleased creation crystals, get in contact with me. Like, I'm looking for these things actively, and we'll see what happens. But because the other thing is too, like, if you complete your collection, what do you do next? Like, once I do that, like, I don't know what I'd do. Need something else to collect then. What's my general opinion on 3DS games? They're good. They're different, like I said, than the console games, but they're good. I need to play them again, and I wish I had an easy way to stream them as well, because that would be, I'd stream those in a heartbeat if that was easy to do. Do I count the E3 Spyro as different from S1 Spyro? So the figure itself, like, is indistinguishable. What I'm really collecting is the packaging, because those E3 versions were the only time you could get Spyro, Trigger Happy, and Gil Grunt in a single pack. They actually made single packs for Spyro, Trigger Happy, and Gil Grunt for Spyro's Adventure, but they were only sent out to members of the media to bring to E3, and most of them got ripped open and trashed at the event. And so the packaging, most of the packaging doesn't exist anymore. And really, that's what I'm collecting, is that packaging. So I'll have a video coming out about those E3 figures shortly, to give people a better idea of why they're special and what I'm looking for. But it's yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right. Yeah, we're looking for giveaway. Yes, we want giveaway. Cool. Toy Story 3's code literally for to be used for Disney Infinity. Yeah. Like I said, it's there. It's there. All right. We're gonna call it good. Let me get this giveaway set up. We will work on this here. That live stream. All right. There we go. That'll work. We then need to share this. Here we go. So your word of the day is stitch, because I have Disney Lorcana cards sitting right in front of me. So that is your word of the day. Enter the word stitch in the chat. For anyone that just got here, we are giving away this new in-box Thrillipede. It is the US version, the single hook version. Looks like it does have some extra stickers on the bottom here. Probably sold online at some point. But yeah, new in-box, green Thrillipede. Enter stitch into the chat. That's all you need to do. We will let that run until 3. Let's just make it 3:55. 3:55. Just type it once. Typing the word multiple times or multiple posts will not enter you more than once. The software is smart enough to not allow that. So yeah, just enter stitch once into the chat and that will be good enough. Found a word you didn't use. Yep. That's always the tough part. All right. So Max, would you count the E3 figures in the 603? So we don't count them in the 603 because the E3 figures don't actually work in the game. So the E3 figures actually do have slightly different programming on them and only work in the demo version of the game that they had at E3 in 2011. So they actually don't work on the console versions. Now, what I've heard some people try to do is say, "Oh, my Spyro figure doesn't work in the game, and therefore it must be an E3 version." No, no, that's not the case. That's most likely just a dead chip. Regardless, like I'm not collecting for the sake of collecting the figure. Like I said, I'm collecting the packaging. That's what's unique. That's what's special. That's what's different. That's what I want in my collection. Like honestly, I would probably pay almost just as much for the empty packaging of the E3 figures as I would with the figure in it yet. Like if someone had just the empty remnant packaging from E3, I would pay a lot of money for that. Even if it didn't have the figure in it yet. Now, obviously, I want the figure to be in there. Like that's ideal, and I would try to upgrade it at some point. But like I said, it's the packaging that is really rare and hard to find, and so that's what we're after. And yeah, that's what's happening here. All right. Do, 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 do. Let's see. Yeah, stitch, 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 stitch. Cool. All right. Got most people entered, it looks like. 50 entries. I mean, right now, everybody has a like 2% chance of winning. That's actually way better than most of our giveaways. And the view count didn't spike much. And that's why I don't tell people when the giveaway is going to be. It honestly gives you, the viewers that are sitting here, even if you just have it turned on in the background. Yeah, Jillian, I literally I picked the word stitch because I saw this card sitting right in front of me. And that's where we got our keyword from today. So Stitch Rockstar. It's easy enough. I think Jillian intentionally did not type the word. So she doesn't win. Yeah. Tom, would I rather get Happy Birthday Ben or Heartbreaker Buckshot? Oof, oof. If I really only had to pick one, and for all intents and purposes, they were equal, like it was equal price and equal opportunity, like I'd probably take Heartbreaker because I think honestly he's gonna be the tougher one to get. Um, like Happy Birthday Ben has been spotted quite a few times, and I so close to getting my hands on one multiple times. Like I was 10 minutes away from the last one that sold on eBay. Like I was 10 minutes late. It stunk. But yeah, I think that one's a lot more likely at this point. Heartbreaker would look different in game. Yes, yeah, that was scheduled. Like that was scheduled to be essentially like the Valentine's Day variant. Um, think like Love Potion Pop Fizz and stuff like that. Like that is that was the original intent. That was the original intent. How many Happy Birthday Bens are there? Once again, we don't necessarily have an official number. Um, it was I have been told by multiple sources that it was a special figure made for Tom Brady's son's birthday party. For those of you who don't know, Tom Brady was a very famous, now retired NFL football quarterback. He has many, many, many millions of dollars, so money is not an issue. But I have been told that like in order to get it made, he was required to kind of print the minimum quantity that they had, which in most cases we've learned is somewhere in like the 1500 to 2000 range. Um, so it's possible that there are actually that many out there somewhere. Now, whether they're all in like Tom Brady's basement or Tom Brady's storage unit, or if they got dumped in the garbage, or if some like he said, okay, I'll pay for them all, but I only want this many. And so some of them are still in China or in a warehouse, secret warehouse somewhere. I don't know where they actually are or what happened to them, what their fate was. But theoretically, it's very likely that a lot of them were made. Uh, Potentially as many as other chase variants. All right. We are at 355. It's time to pick a winner. 52 entries. Good luck to all of you. Here we go. What do we got? What do we got? Be careful. Beware the fake out. Beware the fake out. Wait for the confetti. Wait for the confetti. France Payne. Congratulations. You are today's winner of the new Unboxed Thrillipede. So France Payne, congratulations. I need you, please. I would ask that you do this right now so I can confirm that I have all the information I need from you. Um, I ask that you send me an email to, I'll put this email address up there again, matt@skylanderscharacterlist.com. So send me an email with your name, your mailing address, and a screenshot of your YouTube account. So send an email to matt@skylanderscharacterlist.com with your name, your full mailing address, and a screenshot of your YouTube account. That would be most useful. And if you can, let me know when you have that sent so I can double check that I got it. And then we'll be all good to go. And I can get that shipped out to you sometime next week. I mean, obviously, no mail goes out on Sundays, but we'll get it out to you sometime next week. Um, So that's the only giveaway that we're doing today. We're just doing the monthly giveaway. It's not a full like weird giveaway stream or anything like that. Um, but yeah, that is our monthly giveaway. We're this year we're doing 12 giveaways in 12 months. So that's what we got going on. What are the giveaways this year? Let me pull up that list so I can give you a rundown of what's going on. So far this year, back in January, just a quick recap, we gave away a Royal Double Trouble. In February, it was a new inbox Polar Whirlwind. March was Patina High Volt. April was event exclusive Hot Streak. In May, we gave away a Volcanic Vault. In June was Echo. July was the Light Yawn Trap. August was the Dark Handstand Trap. We just gave away Thrillipede. So October, so next month, we have a UFO hat card. In November, we have a new inbox Chaos. And in December, we will have Snowbright Stormblade. So 3 giveaways left this year: UFO hat, Chaos, and Snowbright Stormblade. So those are still coming in future giveaways. Yeah, you see that view count going down? It didn't drop off too bad. I mean, yeah, we're losing a few more now. We're under 50 for like the first time since we started this stream. Plant King, you won the yawn. Congratulations. Awesome. But yeah, anyone else that's willing to stick around, like I'll be here for another hour. I'm willing to chat. Hey, the view count went back up. Look at that. All right, let me see if I got any new emails. Not seeing any emails yet. Okay. So yeah, France Pain, I hope you're working on that. My voice calms you down. It's helping you draw. Interesting. Fair enough. Fair enough. What is my favorite Eon's Elite Skylander design and why? So, I mean, most of the designs, the first 8 are exactly the same as the SSA designs. The last 6 did get redesigns. I guess you could say reposes, but I actually don't like those as much. I actually like the first 8 better. And I mean, I just love the new paint job on them. The one that always stands out to me more than the others is Eruptor. And I don't know if it's just because the bright red kind of jumps out or what it is, but I do appreciate that one. But I mean, all of them look good. Like Spiral looks great, Whirlwind looks great, Stealth Elf, like they all look good. I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, for whatever reason, I can't explain why necessarily, but Eruptor always stood out to me. Banana King, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. How hard is it to get an inbox chaos? I mean, back in the day, like I've heard people say this before, like, why is chaos so expensive? They were given away for free back in the day. I'm like, well, yeah. For some people, it was like a like free gift when you bought a starter pack. I think you could get chaos for free. But if you're talking inbox now, most people went home and ripped that thing open. And so I mean, how many are still in box? That's the question. So I mean, I see them from time to time. They're in most of the time when I get a collection that includes inbox Imaginators, there's probably a chaos in there. Whereas if I get a collection of inbox Imaginators, there might not be a Robo or a Chompy Mage or a Wildstorm like the big three. So I mean, it's definitely hard to find, but still not as hard as like the big three or anything like that. Um, Moon Crusher, trying to get into Skylanders collecting, but live in a place where you can't go out and buy them secondhand. Any tips? Um, I mean, that's exactly why my shop exists, because I want to help people complete their collections, especially if you don't have places locally where you can go shop. Um, so I mean, sclcollectibles.com, you can check us out there. Otherwise, yeah, if you don't have places locally, I mean, you're basically limited to online unless you're willing to travel. Um, so that's all I got to say. I if you're not willing, if you can't find them locally, you're not willing to travel, then you got to shop online. So my site is one place. You can search on eBay for other folks. Um, and hopefully I'll have some more ways for you in the future, but that's all I got right now. Yeah, I know a lot of people like Ghost Roaster, Eon's Elite Ghost Roaster, and Slam Bam. Slam Bam is a favorite for a lot of folks, but not for me. How much does a loose chaos sell for? I sell them in the shop for $40. $40. Tom got 2 free chaos. Yep. Have one in a box, sold the other box. There you go. There you go. Some people kept them in box. All right. Do we get an email from France Payne yet? Not yet. France Payne, can you give me that email? I haven't seen you in here since you won, but I know you were just in here because you entered. But I need to get a hold of you. And if you don't, if you don't contact me, I can't send you anything. Like, that's the thing. So now I'm worried that people like entered, left immediately after entering, and didn't stick around to find out who won. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Curious about my favorite creation crystal. I so I don't really like creating stuff. I like playing with other people's creations. Like I enjoy the figures that are made by the professionals. Taking time to create a figure, create a character is not for me. There's a reason that I didn't really like Disney Infinity in the toy box. Like creating is not for me. That's not where I enjoy spending my time. Um, that's just my preference, but I would much rather them just keep coming out with new characters and allow me to play with those. Ooh, email was sent. France Payne, I'm glad you're here. Want to give away the trophy. Got your name. Got your address. Got the screenshot. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I think that should be all the information I need for now. If you need anything else, I have a way to get a hold of you now. So thank you very much. And congratulations once again. Sweet. All right. We officially have our winner. So we're going to take that down. We're going to go back here so we can show off hopefully some winners in tomorrow's football game. Awesome. All right. How often do we get inbox Eon's Elite? So more often than you might think. I think this is because the Eon's Elite figures were kind of sold as high-end premium figures for collectors. And so that is something that people tended to keep in box. Like the boxes were so shiny and pretty. Like a lot of people didn't take them out of the box. And so when I buy collections nowadays, a lot of times they're still in the box. And that is something I love because I think they look great in the box and they stack very well. And like you can still play with them in the box if you really want to. No need to take them out of there. So we actually get them in quite often. And when I do get them in, it's not usually just one or two. It's usually 6 or 8 or 10 or all 14 of them. Um, and since I only sell them, like I said, usually 2 or 3 at a time per week at a Whatnot Wednesday show, like when I get 8 in, like then that's fodder for a month's worth of Whatnot shows. And so that's why typically we have some every week on Whatnot. Now, like I said, they're not always going to be like new in box. Sometimes it's just going to be like the figure along with the case, and they have been opened at some point. And I'll let you know all that information ahead of time. You'll see it in the pictures or in the description because Whatnot is a uh, live streaming auction platform. If you haven't signed up yet, here's a reminder. If you haven't signed up for Whatnot, I'm going to be running tons of auctions in the next 3 months. Not only the Whatnot Wednesday shows, but also I like I said, I have a bunch of inbox Disney Infinity stuff that I'm going to be selling. I have a bunch of kind of oddball Skylanders merchandise that I've gotten in bulk that we're going to be selling off at separate shows. And so I might be running 3, maybe even 4 shows per week for the next few months. I'm trying not to travel as much, so I should be in town running these shows every week. And so yeah, like expect 2 to 4 shows every week. So now is the time to sign up. If you haven't signed up yet, use the link down in the description. You'll get $15 in Whatnot credit. You can use immediately. You can spend it on other folks. That's completely fine. Or you can spend it on my shows. That's fine too. But $15 in Whatnot credit. And I hope to see you there. But got that going on. How do I feel about the Detroit Lions? I think I I think they have a good team. They're fun to watch. I think this year's team isn't quite as good as last year's team. For some reason they don't seem to be gelling as much, or I haven't paid super close attention to see how many players they lost necessarily. Um, but they seem to be struggling more. And I don't know if that's their team has gotten worse or if that's just other teams have figured them out now, having a full year of tape to look at and say, okay, I see what you're doing, Dan Campbell. And they finally got them figured out. Um, and so that's why they're struggling more. They're still a good team. And I fully expect them to be in the playoffs once again. Um, but it doesn't feel as smooth as they did last year. So it'll be interesting. The NFC North right now is a very tough division. Like we have the Lions and the Packers, who both playoff teams last year. You got the Vikings, who seem to be legit for the first time in a long time. They're 3-0 right now, but we'll see how long that holds up. And well, then there's the Bears, but yeah, when you have 3 out of 4 teams that could potentially be in the playoffs this year, it's not unheard of to have 3 teams from one division in the playoffs. It's happened before, and when they're all in my division, it's a tough division. We got to play each of them twice. Silly question. If you could have a podcast with any 3 Skylanders, who would they be? Oof. Camo, for sure. Shortcut, I think, would be hilarious. And I'm tempted to go just with one of my other favorites, or if I pick someone off the wall who I think would just be an interesting guest. Man, that's a good question. I think for now I'm just gonna go Hoodsicle because I think that like the uh shortcuts energy playing off a Hoodsicle and like his solemnness, like that would be interesting. Even though, yeah, I'd want to see that. I'd listen to that. Mm. Do I have any Skylanders merch? I don't have a lot like in my personal collection. I tried to stay away from collecting everything under the sun that's Skylanders. That's Chaotic's deal. Um, Chaotic has a huge collection that he's going after the Guinness World Record. Like we're pretty sure he already has a beat, but he's wondering if he wants to break the record now while he's still collecting stuff, or wait till he's collected everything and then claim the record. But yeah, I have very very minimal amounts of random merchandise. Um, like recently, I've started picking up like the original soundtracks. So for the first four games, Spyro's Adventure, Giants, I still need the Swap Force soundtrack, and then the Trap Team soundtrack. Um, like I've just picked those up. Those are still sealed, actually. Like I want to like play these, but they're still sealed and so pretty. So I'm probably gonna leave those. Um, if you want to get into really random merchandise, though, I got my hands on this. I'm guessing most of you have probably never seen this before. This is a Skylanders Trap Team inflatable sword made for Target. Like you can see it on that tag there. Skylanders Trap Team Target inflatable sword. So this one is still sealed, so I want to keep it sealed for now. But there's a part of me that think I should have bought another one just so I could open it up, because I think that would be hilarious. I'm curious now. Have any of you ever had this before, or when you were kids, did you get this from Target and actually have an inflatable sword? That was like it says Skylanders Trap Team on it, but I'm pretty sure it was probably like a free giveaway at some point that I just missed. But yeah, I don't have a lot of other random merch. Most of the random merch I get, I sell. So if you're looking to buy stuff, check out Whatnot. Yes, like we get all that stuff over there, and we do get a lot of weird random stuff from time to time. Do I watch the NBA? I used to a lot more growing up. Basketball is actually my sport of choice to play. Um, so I love playing basketball, and I used to watch it more. I haven't watched it. I mean, honestly, I watch when like so the Milwaukee Bucks. I live in Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Bucks are my team. Um, when they're in the playoffs, I watch them. I don't usually watch them throughout the year. There's just so many games, and it's it's not where I spend my time. So football is my sport to watch. Basketball is my sport to play. But it is what it is. What's your favorite Skylander you own, including variants and customs? Um, so I mean, E3 Spyro is one I'm very proud of, because that is, I mean, super rare, super hard to find. I really, really like that one. Um, the man, I do appreciate like the look of the clear variants most of the time. Um, Customs, ooh, I do have all my camo customs. Those are really nice. If you haven't seen those, I put out a video recently showcasing all my camo customs. I have a lot of them, and there's some really really nice figures in there, both from Rainstorm Riddles, Earthen Avenger, and even Skylander dude sent me Captain Camo. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Those might be some of my favorites. Um, I do a podcast with Kaboom. I don't know how far you get. Might blow stuff up. Tom, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Eruptor is not an actual figure. Um, it says it on the back of the box that like this figure is not working game. There's no chip in that figure. It's legitimately, if you haven't seen it in person, it would make sense when you see it. Like, it's just a display piece. It is meant to sit on a shelf. Yes, they kind of made the box look like a playable figure and all that, but it is not a playable figure at all. It is just a display piece. If you would open up the box, it would fall apart and you'd have nothing. Um, so yeah, that's not a playable figure at all. Whose weapon is that? Like that's the thing. I don't know if it is someone's weapon. The color scheme kind of looks like it could be like a Crypt King type of sword, but I don't know for sure because I haven't actually opened one up. Plant King, what did you do to get banned from Whatnot? What's going on there? How do I feel about Malik Willis? He has been spectacular. I think he's finally found a system that he can play in the NFL. Like I mean, honestly, he played his part. He played the role we needed him to play because he won these past 2 games. We're figuring at best, like if we could squeak out with 1 win, that would be a godsend. Turns out he won both of them for us and literally couldn't ask for anything more from him. Now, I will say Matt LaFleur, our coach, had a fantastic game plan going into both games and like switch things up. And like the first week when Malik had, maybe a couple of days worth of practice, um, said, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna run the ball down their throats, and so you don't have to throw too much. You just have to hand off, call the right plays, and we'll be fine." Um, and we did that, and it was enough to win. So I, if we had to go this week with Malik Willis, I still think we got a shot to win. I mean, he'd have another week of practice under his belt, and I, he's done everything asked of him, and I think he works well in our system with our coach, and um, the defense has made a lot of that possible. That we don't have to rely on the quarterback to win games, and so that has helped out a lot as well. What was your first reaction to Bowser and Donkey Kong coming to Skylanders? Honestly, I wasn't really a fan. I didn't think we needed any kind of crossover like that. And the fact that then they were only playable on Nintendo consoles made it even less appealing. So, yeah. Yeah. Um The most expensive single figure you own is Polar Whirlwind. Hey, that's fair. Nothing wrong with that. Um, their Elite Skylander is probably a Ruptor right now, but they should have made camo. You made multiple accounts to abuse the. Yeah, folks, if you're signing up for Whatnot to get the free credit, just do it once. Getting banned, as you found from Plant King here, it does happen. They do track that stuff. Um, do not like getting banned is not worth an extra $15, even if you do it, 10 times. It's not worth an extra $150. Um, yeah, yeah, don't do it. All right. Um, what are we looking at? We're almost at 5. Wow. Once again, time flies. Time flies, folks. Another reminder though, if you weren't here earlier when we were talking about it, Packers discount. If the Packers win tomorrow, there'll be a discount in the shop on Monday. You just have to use the coupon code Go Pack Go. Do I have a banner for that? I don't know if I have a banner for that. Oh, I had this banner, but it's not a guaranteed 15%. The amount of the discount is based on the how many points the Packers win by. It maxes out at 15%, but we had that last week. There's 15% off everything. So see how that goes. Ski shot. What SCL Matt 1v1? Wait, what am I fighting? Or who am I fighting? I'm confused. 1v1 what? But yeah, possible discounts based on the game for sure. I've done it for the past 3 years. I think I've done it since the beginning of the shop, essentially. Oh, basketball 1v1. I don't get to play a lot anymore. I'd be a little bit rusty, but yeah. I don't even have a basketball hoop at my house right now. So that's kind of rough. The only Skylanders playable characters you're missing, including reposes, light cores, and decos, include Solar. Oh, Solar Flare Aurora is the only one. Wow. That's a nice collection. Yeah, hopefully we can get to Solar Flare Aurora. Plant King. I do remember that name. I do remember Crispy Happy. Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it, folks. Don't abuse the discounts. All right. What else we got going on? So we got lots of whatnot shows coming up. I'm hoping with less travel as well. Like I said, I'm hoping to do more of these live streams, whether they're just chat with Matt or like I hope I can get the streaming thing figured out because I do want to get back to streaming Skylanders. Not only console games, but like I said, I would love to figure out if I could figure out how to stream 3DS stuff as well. Like that would be ideal. But that I don't have a good way to do that. So we'll see how that goes. It's yeah, I'll have to see if maybe I want to invest in actually getting a decent streaming setup. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. It's not something I'm really looking forward to spending money on because, like I said, it's not like I'm a full time streamer who's going to stream every day or anything like that. So I don't know how much I want to invest in that kind of setup. What stream service do I right now? I just use StreamYard. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Like they're not necessarily meant for streaming video games. They're meant more for just general live streams like I'm doing right now. And that's what allows me to like put your questions up here on screen so easily. It's a built-in feature of StreamYard. And I know there's ways to do that with other services as well, but like this has just been so simple and so easy for me to use and it's worked for years, honestly. And so like that's what I've continued to use because it's worked. And I was even able to, when I once a month or whatever stream some video games, I was able to get that to work. So I just kept using it. So I don't know. It's something I'll look into for sure. I'll definitely look into it, but I don't know if I'll make any changes. Full of love, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the content. Keep all your Skylanders in 1-1 scale Minecraft chests made in wood shop. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I would love to see that box, that Minecraft chest. That would look great. How much whatnot shipping to the UK? So once again, it really depends on what you're buying because it's based on the weight of the item and where it's being shipped. So something to keep in mind with whatnot shipping. I will mention this again because not everybody understands this. So um, whatnot charges the customer shipping once again based on the weight and based on your location. So the first item you buy is all like it when an auction goes live, it's a live streaming auction platform. So when I push an item live, it's going to show you down at the bottom of your screen how much shipping is going to be for that particular item. Um, Now this is what scares a lot of people off because they'll see like even in the US, like it might be 4, 6, $8 for one item. And they're like, man, if it's going to be $8 for every item I buy, I can't buy anything. But the thing is, in the US, once you get past that like $8 or $9 threshold, you hit the free shipping. And so once you hit that free shipping, then you're just paying the cost of the item and you don't have to pay additional shipping on top of that. Internationally, I don't think you ever hit a free shipping um, window like that. But I will tell you, I've seen it before where like the first item might cost you like $15 in shipping. Yeah, because that's just it. Like when I tell you international shipping is expensive, this is what I'm talking about. Like I'm not trying to gouge you on shipping costs on the website. International shipping is expensive. Even on whatnot, they'll tell you it's expensive. So like the first item might be $15. And if that's the only thing you buy, yeah, you're gonna have to pay $15 shipping on that one item. But then I've seen it. I can't speak to your exact case, but I've seen this for other people that someone I think it was from the UK, it could have been from somewhere else in Europe, but like their first item was $15. Their second item cost $1 to ship. Their third item cost one additional dollar to ship. Their fourth item was one additional dollar to ship. And so once they bought four items, the total shipping cost was only $19. So one item for $15, but four items for $19 makes a big difference, right? And so that's where it's hard to say, what is the shipping cost? It depends where you live. It depends how much the items weigh. It depends how much you buy. There are a lot of factors that go into it. And I can't just answer a flat, this is how much it costs, because it really depends what you end up buying. So something to keep in mind. But like when you see that, like if it says the first item is going to cost $15 to ship, the second item should not cost $15 to ship. And after you win the first item and pay for the first item, it'll tell you down on the bottom of the screen then when the next item goes up for auction, you'll see a much lower shipping cost at the bottom of the screen. So it's a little confusing. It's a little bit different, but we do ship a lot of international orders on whatnot as well. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're using the system. When am I going to finish the Figure Focus series? So Mod, the final 2 episodes are milestones. They're we're working on getting our subscriber count up. So I think the next one actually is our next subscriber goal. It's at I think 12,500 and we're at like 12,200, 100, 200 somewhere in there. So we're only a few hundred subs away from the next episode of Figure Focus being released. And I think the last one is going to be at 17,500, I want to say. Um, so those could be coming up relatively soon. But yeah, they are milestones. They're kind of stretch goals or however you want to look at it. Um, for the YouTube subscriber count. DJ Digby, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Other characters crossover. Yeah, my answer for this, Tom, is Ratchet and Clank. It's another series I think would work well. The characters are already animated. I think they would play well with the Skylanders universe. I mean, Ratchet, well, Clank, I think definitely has to be tech. Ratchet, like you could argue he could be tech. I don't know what else I would put him in though. Like sometimes it feels like magic, but he's not really doesn't fit into the other elements so much. Maybe life, but he's not really like plant based. Like he might like he uses all the tech. Like Clank is definitely tech, but I don't know. It might feel worth to make them both tech, but you get 2 of these, the rest are coming to kill you. Oh boy. 10 Spryos, 1 Hoodsicle, 3 Wolves, 2 Snapshots, 100 basically dead camos, and 5 hexes. Part of me says you gotta play the numbers game, right? Even 100 basically dead camos is still pretty good. They're at least a wall. But man, Hoodsicle could rip through them. I don't know. I'd still probably play a numbers game. 110. Got a Lycord robot inbox, but the box is for glow in the dark sonic boom. Is that worth something? Has it been resealed or was it originally in store that way? I mean, do you know for sure? Like if it was found in stores that way, like it could be worth something to the right buyer. The problem is there's not a lot of people who are interested in that type of collectible, that type of error. So it's hard to say. But if it's a legit error and you can get in contact with the right buyer, it could be worth something. It's not going to be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but it could be worth more than the figures would be worth by themselves. Ratchet could be light or I didn't even think about light and dark. That's true. I could see Ratchet as light. I don't know if I like him as air though. But yeah, maybe light. That'd be interesting. Just got a Royal Double Trouble for free because he couldn't find him online and you're buying some other Skylanders. Where are they searching that they couldn't find Royal Double Trouble online? Like literally it like unless they don't have the name of the figure, like if I just search Royal Double Trouble, I mean there's a few eBay listings. Does my store come up at all? My site comes up. Oh, there he is. Yeah, like down on the bottom of the first page, Royal Double Trouble at SCL Collectibles. But you got him on Skylanders character list, and like Skylanders character list listing is going to take you to the shop if you click on those buttons. You got pictures of them, you got descriptions of them. Yeah, I don't know. A simple search for him finds him. I don't know what they were looking at. All he searched was Double Trouble. Okay, I guess that could be part of part of the problem. Double trouble. Even well, okay, then you might have to add in Skylanders. Skylanders double trouble. Yeah, because then you just get all the other. Well, no, there's a royal popped up. Oh, it's from my site even. What do you know? Uh, do, do, do. Yeah, so shows up there with the picture even. I don't know. I think some people are bad at searching on the internet. It seems fairly easy to find, but good for you. I mean, hey, you if you got a free royal double trouble, congrats. It's that employee or shop owner is missing out on the money there. So I think maybe my biggest pushback on this is like I the air is my least favorite element, so I hate to stick Ratchet there, but maybe that would like me like the air element more. But I guess if you think about it, he's not too dissimilar from like Jetpack. Chris, which is more important, collecting figures or playing the game? I don't know if I want to set importance to that. Um, like, because that really comes down to personal preference. I feel like I don't think there's really importance in either of them. Um, some people like playing the game, some people like collecting. Like I'm a collector at heart, and that's partly what drew me to the game is the fact that there was an element of collecting to go along with it. Like if it was just the game itself. Now, I don't get me wrong, I enjoy playing the game. I very much do enjoy playing Skylanders, and I wish they would make more games. I would play them in a heartbeat. But I I think what really drew me to it in the first place was the fact that there were things to collect. And so without that element, I don't know that I would have tried playing Skylanders in the first place. So yeah, I like for me personally, I guess you could argue that collecting is probably more important, but I enjoy playing the game just as much. And I mean, once I'm done collecting, once my collection is complete, whenever that happens, like all I'll have is playing the game. So Nelson, yeah, like I was kind of going that direction too. Ratchet would be tech, but like I think Clank is definitely tech as well, and I think it'd be weird to put them in the same category, especially if they would bring them into the game. Like they would want some variation there. So I don't know what to do with it because like I don't think there's anywhere else you could put Clank. So I mean, if you can make an argument for putting Clank somewhere else, then I can say, okay, yeah, let's put Ratchet as tech. But yeah, Steel, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, the audio issues sucked, but hey, it is what it is. I think it's still a fun stream. I enjoyed it at least. I hope you did too. Why is Air my least favorite? I just kind of like going through figures over the course of time and like people asking me what my favorites are and trying to pick out what I like and don't like. There are very, very, very few Air characters that I like at all. Um, and just like their attacks, I don't tend to like. I feel like a lot more of the Air characters are like their attacks aren't necessarily attacks. They're more like control based moves. and so like they don't actually do damage, or like they're there to manipulate the field as opposed to actually help win the fight. Um, it's it's something a feeling I've developed over time, and like Fling Kong is one of the few exceptions. Like I enjoy Fling Kong. Um, there's a few others that are okay. I'll play with them, but they're not my favorite. Like Gusto is okay. Wildstorm is okay. Um, who else we got in Air, air, air. Airstrike is okay. Bad Juju's not my favorite. Thunderbolt's okay. Blades is. Eh. There are better characters out there for sure. Not a huge fan of Lightning Rod or Sonic Boom. Like Whirlwind is fine, but just doesn't blow me away. No pun intended. Jetvac, I think, is awful. I'm actually kind of surprised Jetvac. Like, typically, I will tell people like, uh, in starter pack characters are good characters. Like they're usually good all around characters, and they can be used by anyone. They have a variety of moves. There's a reason they're in the starter pack. I don't understand why Jetback is a starter pack character. That's one that still gets me. Yeah, Warnado, Lightning. Yeah, okay, those we did again. So yeah, there's just none that really wow me, and there's no air characters. I'm like, yeah, I really like that one. Um, so I don't know. It, like I've gone through all the other elements, and most of the other elements will have at least one character that I'm like, yes, I enjoy playing that. I think that's a good character. Yeah. Fling Kong, I think, is the closest you get to me really liking a character, and even then, it's like if I have to choose an air character, I hope I can play as him, because like the SSA and Giants air characters, I'm not really a fan of. Like, but give me a Trap Teamer later, and okay, I'll use Fling Kong, sure. Um, yeah, it's it's not my favorite. Playing the games is cheaper. That is true. Cheaper than collecting them all. DJ Digby just picked up McDonald's Chompy. Nice. Wish we had more Chompy figures. They're great. You have 5 snapshots. You can make custom. You could. Absolutely. Be a great one to test it out on. Best feelings experiencing the game after 10 years and remembering everything. Yeah. Nostalgia, man. Clank could be light as Blastertron is. Yeah. I suppose you could make that argument. Once again, I didn't necessarily like Blastertron being light, but I guess they made it work. Love to see Sonic as a Skylander. Think he'd be air. Maybe. Maybe. I do not have Happy Birthday Ben Starcast. No. That's one of 7 that I still need for my collection. They could be one figure with Ratchet as the main guy and Clank as his little buddy. Yeah. I mean, that's possible too. Like Clank technically most of the time rides on Ratchet's back. And just provides help to him. So yeah, they could be one character. That's a fair point. You could have Ratchet and Clank as one character in the tech element then. That wouldn't be bad. That's interesting. Every time we had a crossover, it's always been 2 characters. It's always been a life and tech. Fair. Fair. Yeah, I know a lot of folks love Whirlwind. And like she's not bad. She's one of the better ones if I have to play with an air character, but still just doesn't really do it for me. Cam, yes, double double trouble. video. I was pretty happy with that one. Answered a lot of questions for a lot of people. There's a really good custom maker who has straight up killer chompy. Jabori, who makes custom chompies? I'd love to at least look at them. Oh, Taylor Create makes chompies. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm familiar with their work. Do the E3s count for my collection? So the E3s aren't in like the list of 603 that I'm hunting. But yeah, I mean it's absolutely in my collection. So yeah, like but yeah, okay. As far as the 7 that I need go, that does not include E3 Trigger Happy or E3 um, Gil. So I mean, if you want to include those, the number's higher. But of the 603, I still need 7. Before Camo, who was my favorite? Flameslinger was the first one that I really liked. That was before I ever got my hands on Camo. Like Flameslinger was the first Skylanders I got my hands on were a lot of like 8 figures, I think. And like in that lot was a Flameslinger. And like he was my favorite of the first figures that I got. So yeah, Flameslinger was the first. Nelson, have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. Favorite sensei is either Hoodsickle or Starcast. All right, folks. I think I'm going to wrap things up here as well. So it's been a fun day for sure. A little bit troublesome in the tech department, but I still had a good time. I hope you did too. I am going to be at Whatnot on Wednesday. I'm going to get the items for this week's Whatnot show listed tonight. So if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for Whatnot using the link in the description below. Get that $15 in Whatnot credit. Prep yourself for Wednesday's show. We'll have a lot of good stuff coming there. I will have stuff every Wednesday from now through the end of the year, hopefully, unless I plan another trip that I wasn't planning on right now. But that is the plan going forward. And like I said, we're going to have a lot more Whatnot streams over there. Because I have a lot of stuff in my basement right now and I want to find new homes for it. And my home is not the answer. So thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope we can do this again soon. Maybe we can actually play some Skylanders in the future. And I'll talk to you then. Have a good night.